Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 871, coming to you live from somewhere nowhere. We're in Dallas. That's where we are. But it is sort of like somewhere nowhere sometimes. One of the things we want to do, we want to shout out to those that watch us for the first time. We are now live streaming on Abstract. So we had applied for a creator when the application first went out, and I guess maybe we just didn't follow up with it because the very first time we mentioned it to someone and was just like, hey, like, you got this going on, that going on, and I thought there was supposed to be, what's going on? They're like, fix that. Check your email. I was like, magic email. Oh my gosh, yay. So for those that don't know about me, my name is Player One Taco, and this is TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen. I started creating content in 2018, and from there did various different types of shows all about Web3, and then from that rolled into Crypto Viking 101. Then we went to Taco Tuesdays. Then we started, after Clubhouse, as soon as Twitter Spaces opened up, we ran away from from Clubhouse and ran into Twitter Spaces and never looked back. And we added a bunch of new features to the show as we've grown. We are now at 871 episodes. So the number one thing about the show, it is consistently inconsistent, but daily. And we cover everything that's happening in Web3 in some shape or form, whether it is just walking through protocols and the DeFi journeys that we go through, showing you the protocols that we use, how to use them safely, what happens when things mess up, how to unstuck transactions, just some of the more easier stuff. But then we also get into the highly technical of some major liquidity providing management, and we love checking out new apps and new protocols. One of the biggest things that we do is we stream live to 9 locations at the same time. We are live in a Twitter space. So it's one of the things that we've had a lot of fun doing, where this is our way of breaking down what we've learned each day. We're a host for a bunch of other shows. We work Manifest Morpheus Monday. That is every Monday at 2 p.m. We cover really heavy stuff within the AI builder field around the Morpheus ecosystem, Manifest AI ecosystem, Exhibits, Hyperbolic, 6079, Wire, Venice, Render, all of these different awesome projects that are building in decentralized AI. We have that show, and then I'm also either a panelist or co-host for the Mario Nafal show. So there's a lot of things going on. But on top of that, I'm the CDO. You can pick what that means to you. I know what it means to me, and I know the responsibility it puts on my shoulders. But I am the CDO of Manifest, or the Lifted Initiative. Manifest and Lifted Initiative is a decentralized AWS protocol. We have roughly 30 plus colo tier 3, tier 4 data centers in different locations around the data centers around the world. And so we're providing decentralized AWS-like services. We're not like a Kosh or IO where any person can join the network. We are actual full rack servers that are training models, hosting, and decentralized AWS services, Kubernetes clusters, virtual units, the whole gamut of every tool that you need, like Azure and everything like that AWS offers, we offer as well. We've been live now for about 3.5 years, And on top of that, we just like to have fun. So I get to go around the world traveling to blockchain conferences where you might normally recognize me as the guy that has 1,000 badges on, and an armful of wristbands and a backpack that has streaming NFTs on it. From there, I sort of get to have a front row seat to everything that's going on in Web3 in some way, shape, or form. And that's actually a really cool piece. With that, I get to do a lot of different, I'm part of a lot of different accelerators and incubators, as both a mentor and judge for pitch contests, but also as an investor on behalf of Manifest. And how we do that is we run an index fund within Manifest. We call that MFX. And MFX is built up of all of the other projects that we've invested in. So we sort of take cash off the table in an investment form, because what we are doing is, at our valuation, we are supporting someone else's cap table, and we take a percentage supply of their token. From that percentage supply, it's whatever its dollar value is at their raise level. We then do a token swap for that, and we then give them that dollar value of our token. And so from there, their token then goes into our treasury board, building up our token. And then their token is the tokens they have are on their books, supporting their valuation. So we've been placed as a lead investor because we're supporting their valuation. Or also, it's the equivalent of that they can sort of use as like AWS like credits with us. So instead of us handing out a bunch of free credits to suck people in, we make it so that that they can use this, and we take their token for trade type of stuff. So we try to help projects grow on the infrastructure level. And as an investor, my first question isn't what's my vesting schedule. It's, how long can we be partners for? Because you're now part of my ecosystem. And so we've been able to do that for the last 3 years, and just completely growing with over the easy number to say it, because there's always a bunch of deals being done, but over 185 projects. And at the same time, we're now valued at roughly around $493 million market cap. So it's a really fun time, I guess you could say. But what is TacoBytes? I've been part of, like I said, I've been part of many shows. As soon as Twitter Spaces opened, hopped around and helped out with a bunch of different shows, talking Web3 and everything like that. After one show for a long time that I was part of, I had started talking about hosting my own show. You'd think this is my first show. Technically, it is my first show in abstract. But I kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and not doing it. Finally, the host of that show, someone I will always appreciate, and is someone I always appreciate, told me that if I don't start my show the next day, that I wouldn't be allowed back to be on that show anymore. And so I said, F it, and I went and did it. It wasn't until about 4 o'clock in the morning that I finally figured out the name I was going to name that show, and it happened to be a Tuesday. So that is how TacoBytes was born, your daily bite of Degen. It is around either episode 162 or episode 62 that Twitter reached out to me, and they were like, hey, would you like the beta access to our video API? And I was like, sure, why not? And so from there, started streaming to a few different channels. Started with, I think, like maybe just like a YouTube and X. And then from there, expanded it to both my YouTube channels, LinkedIn, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and we have been on Lonely since launch. And Soul Media Tech, but now we have we've been talking about leaving Unlonely and stop streaming on Unlonely. Tonight is the night. Yesterday was our last night streaming on Unlonely. We know Brian, and the stuff he has done over the last year and a half with Unlonely has been amazing and cool. As a platform that was originally built or aimed towards being built towards creators, it more shifted towards what he wanted to create. And that's a really cool thing because it gives sort of like a founder focus. And from there, he started to really dive into what he was building. And so hats off to him. But during that process, and because of what he chose to do, stop focusing so much on the creators on the platform. There's still a ton of amazing creators that are doing shows daily, 24/7, all sorts of things. And he has some cool PvP and creator versus creator ecosystem token pieces that literally can launch a token on stream that is only live for during that stream for like betting on gambling back and forth on different like polls and questions. And so it's a really cool aspect. I think there's a lot of cool things building there, but it wasn't no longer made for creators. It was more what Brian wanted to create. And like I said, that sort of it is really cool, but that means it wasn't for other people really. So without further ado, from there, we moved over to Soul Media Tech as well, which is as soon as Filecoin launched on Solana, that was where we got to live. And so we have tried out other places here and there, but those are basically the places that we find and call home. As far as me and my Web3 journey, I started a little bit older than my Web3 journey. My gaming journey started in 2008. I couldn't figure out my gamer tag, and pressing start gave you the name back then of Player One. I couldn't. I've been playing games all my life. But that's sort of where the online side of it really started to push forward. And that's how Player One was born. Started using it so much that I ended up typing it into other games and everything like that, moving forward from there. And then in 2015 is when I started working for a game company as a community dev liaison. I'll leave the name off the table, but I'll give you an idea because my name changed. From just being Player One, I became Player One Clash. And then in 2018, moved to a different game company or game studio with another game. And I then became Player One Rival. And then to just sort of roll back a little bit, 2012 is sort of when I got into Web3, aka Bitcoin mining. I was running a sports book at the time. Really, really simple paper parlay ticket thing, and had customers around my local area all the time. And Bitcoin was sort of like some would take Bitcoin, and so I'd already started getting into it a little bit and ramped up production, as so to speak, and worked off a lot of different paper wallets. So that was sort of my introduction to Bitcoin, but it was because I loved the beauty of the fact that it seemed to me really pure. And it was, as I say, and you might have heard me say this a million times, mathematical proof that it was better to do good than to do bad. And that sort of helped define my deeper motto that I was like, ethos in life that I was building out of don't be a dick. As my grandma says, don't swear. I tell her that that's not swearing, and she says, no, you should be kind. And to me, being kind is a very passive thing. Anyone can be kind. Peter Parker opening up the door was being kind, but at the same time, don't be a dick is a lot more of an active role to me. And so going out of my way, even if I might be having a horrible day, seeing that right away and going back and readdressing those things. But a very proactive approach to life. And so that has helped change a lot of things in my life as well. But that's all the boring stuff. So how did my name become Player One Taco if my name changed with every game company I went through? 2016, I ended up working for a couple different Web3 projects. I use air quotes on the Web3 side of things. Working during the SEO, doing a lot of SEO, but during the ICO craze. So for 3 projects, sort of tried to help them through that process. And you know, they're not alive today. They're not. But started working for a bunch of different projects in marketing, and behind the scenes on what they should do as far as like tokenomics and what like type of smart contract stuff that they should do. And then the world really sort of nailed down that they wanted Solidity over Viper. So I sort of stepped away from any engineering side of things, and I just sort of became the front man, helping sort of orchestrate, connecting, meeting, and designing things, and just having a blast, literally having fun, doing cool shit with friends and making friends along the way. And so from there, ended up working for a bunch of different protocols and projects. 2019, 2020, helped start up Taco Cat. And that is where I got the name Player One Taco. So as you can see, my name changed with the different companies I was working for. And then when I became Player One Taco, or changed my name to Player One Taco, it was like, that fits right. It's like a favorite pair of socks. And so affectionately, I'm now known, because Player One Taco is a mouthful, I'm just now known as Taco. Also a mouthful, but not just me. So from there, we get to have a lot of fun. We get to talk about all these cool things. Sometimes the show is really slow and boring as I'm waiting for transactions to happen on the different blockchains that I'm on. But what I really want you to see is I want you to see what it's really like using a protocol. We talk all the time about, and there's content creators out there that make some of the coolest content to onboard others. It is so pretty, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I can do that in 30 seconds. In reality, it takes 30 seconds just for the block time to settle, you know, so for you to get a confirmation. But what else are you waiting for during that time? And so we get to walk through these different protocols, and we all like, oh, go deposit on that and you'll start making X, you know. Well, what else do you have to do once you swap to something, stake it, wrap it, restake it, you know, time lock it, and don't forget you got to go vote as well. But you have to time your vote, so you have to vote every week, but you have to wait for your time lock from your last vote to unlock before you can lock again. But if you miss that, then your vote's out. So what is that like? And so as we go through that journey on a daily basis, a lot of the cool tools that we use are focused around wallet monitoring, and both in the EVM world and SVM, Solana ecosystem. And EVM is everything in the Ethereum virtual machine, all the L2s, but also like in Polkadot, in Cosmos. You know, we really don't do too much on Hedera. No one does. But, you know, we go nonstop. So if you look at our hot wallet that we show publicly and everything, we're across 36 chains, I think, on that. Abstract makes 37. You know, I think one of the only chains that we're sort of against right now is Berachain, because, fuck, you know, took almost 2 years of my life. And then from there, we got zero out of that. So 2 years of doing things daily and buying NFTs and ooga boogieing everywhere, I guess, you know, zero. But then you look at over 1,000 transactions. But then you go look at someone's account who never once talked about you, said that they were going to wait for you to launch to do anything on you, and then they have supposedly really large allocations. So this is just what Web3 is, you know? And that's the funny thing with it. A closed mouth does not get fed. So all you people that hate on KOLs that go and like get these big allocations, you're like, well, why not me? Because they went and asked, Billy. Like, they went and asked, you know? And they were told, like, okay, yeah, you can get that, but we need this from you. So just go ask. You know, that's the one. I end my show, every single show, in two ways: words of wisdom, the greatest work, and the greatest worst knock knock joke on the face of the planet. I'll tell you my words of wisdom now, but and we'll save the joke for last. And I'll tell you again the words of wisdom. But a closed mouth does not get fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. Meaning, if no one knows you're looking for opportunity can never come knocking. If opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And what that means in tech and everything is, if you're not going to ask for it, why expect anyone to do something? Lo and behold, I asked about my application status on being an abstract creator, and here I am. So we were supposed to have an interview with an attorney tonight. They had to cancel because of court things. Then we were supposed to have a founder on tonight, and he had to cancel, not for court things. And so we wanted to just come live, tell you who we were. We wanted to walk. Did we have anything that we needed to do? We're going to go do a claim live. We're going to go do a bonk claim live. And then tomorrow, I think we have Play Honeyland founder Corey on the show. And then Sunday, we'll probably just dive into Degen After Dark things. I don't have usually any music playing on in the background. I'm not like a sound and chill. I usually just talk nonstop about what I'm doing and walking you through the protocol pieces. Sometimes we're coding. We work heavy in AI agents and stuff like that, or we actually go through the consumer products of front-facing AI agents and own your own agent and what that looks like. And so that's just sort of a fun thing. That's just sort of one of the fun things we get to do. So we'll probably get back into the normal slide of things Monday, or who knows. But then we have a short scheduled week until the 14th, because we're getting ready for Consensus in Hong Kong, and then we're heading to ETH Denver. So like I said, we are a daily show. We are here every single day, covering everything. So sometimes it might be a quick bite where we are just interviewing a quick founder on the floor of a conference. And if not, we are doing it at the after party, interviewing people there, talking about protocols as we are listening away to some killer beats. So this is going to be a fun time. And I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey, but we are here every single day. And that's the fun part. Usually we 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is our usual show time. So without further ado, we're gonna hop into one thing and one thing only tonight, and that is seeing if we qualified for the Bonk Dragon. Boop. That should show up. I think that shows up. So if you guys have not done anything within the Bonk ecosystem, why not? One of the things that we like to showcase as we're going through a lot of different protocols, we will start off usually around the Bonk morning. Ooh, 2 trillion Bonk has been burned. But what we get to see here is what we're going to do is the Bonk Dragon. So as we go through, we'll start as on the Twitter page of everything, and the Bonk Dragon is where we're going. As you can see, we're opening up 200 for the bonus Degen NFT. So make sure you post your soul wallets down below. So I don't think we did that. We might have. With their below. Yep, bonk. All right. So bonk Degen with the year of rewards. So we actually get to see what this looks like live. We don't know what our rewards look like. We've seen what our attributes are. We've missed out on a couple attributes. So those might have been the ones that paid. Who knows? So we got bonk will be locked in bonk rewards for 1 month. Bonk bet credits can be used to wager on events at bonk bets. 5 credits of moonwalk. All right, not bad. So looks like we got roughly 2 million bonk. So yeah, I understand my bonk will be locked in bonk rewards. We went through bonk rewards, LDT tokens that can be used on bonk bets, and I use my bonk Degen wallet. All right. There we go. Pretty simple, easy walkthrough. Going to bonkdegen.com, entering in your SOL address. There we go. And from there, you can connect your wallet and you can see. So that's the fun side of things. We are running on let's see. So bonk Degen is done. I don't think we had any new airdrops to check, but that was sort of that was what we sort of do a lot of the times is we move LP positions around, check out new protocols, and show you how to walk through and do airdrop claims safely and securely, because that's sort of what we really want to push is the safety of Web3. As far as safety goes, 2 protocols that we really want to shout out to that help keep us safe and help keep hundreds of thousands of people safe is both Wallet Guard and Harpy. Wallet Guard is a wallet extension and MetaMask Snap. Harpy is an RPC protocol that can stop or allow transactions to happen just because you can go to their site, put in the RPC and say, hey, I don't ever want this asset to move my wallet without like a 2FA. And so there's some really cool tech pieces there built into it. On the other side of it, what can also happen is you can get an email for any time something comes into or leaves your wallet, or you give an approval for something. So Harpy really sort of gives good notifications when you're away from your wallet, what's happening and what's going on. As far as wallet monitoring tools, also we use things. Their main ones are Degen, as well as Step Finance, and then our favorite on the side is both Asset Dash and Rally. Rally used to be known as Floor. So we tend to give away things from some of our, we don't have any partners, but the things that we sort of collect, we tend to give away sometimes, which is really fun. We had a really big airdrop from VVV from Venice, as we're a huge Venice user. And we ended up giving away, at the height of the token price, around $14,000 worth of token. It was a lot cheaper than that when we got it, a lot cheaper. And so that is sort of where we got that from. So we like to do nice things for others so that they can learn about protocols and like to pass on our good fortune sometimes. So we want to thank everyone for joining. As we wrap up this episode of TacoBytes, like I said, we end with 2 things every episode. So we've said our words of wisdom 871 times because we just said it earlier, but technically 870. And the greatest, worst knock joke on the face of the planet. As always, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. LinkedIn, Player One Taco YouTube, 0x Degens YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, on-chain via Soul Media Tech, and now on Abstract. I want to thank everyone. And then those joining in on the Twitter space. I know we were running behind, but we were trying to make sure we had everything sort of test run for Abstract. So until next time, GM, and let's have fun with this. This is going to be a really great time. As always, we end with our words of wisdom, which are closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And with that, we end with the greatest, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. In honor of those that come before us and a memory of those that come after us, we end with knock, knock. Who's there?